So for centers to watch in 2018, we're going to start with the other guy in the Kawhi Leonard trade, Jakub Myrtle, who showed some pretty decent defensive chops for the Raptors, as he was a part of one of the best lineups in the league, which was their bench five. His rim protection seems like it can go to some pretty impressive levels. He's not the best athlete in the world. He's not horrible either. He can move, but he's not like a DeAndre Jordan type of five. But he seems to make it work anyway, and given that Greg Popovich can have a great defense with Pau Gasol sitting in quicksand all the time, I have to guess that Jakub could make an impact pretty early on with maybe the best coach in the history of basketball. The fear with Jakub is that he can't rebound at all, and all of his defensive stuff is not going to matter if he's just coughing up offensive boards left and right. But if he can get that under control, then he should be pretty good. Next up, Bam Adebayo, who was better than Hassan Whiteside for at least parts of last season. And if that happens again, he could end up overtaking Whiteside's starting job. I could have put Whiteside in this video, but I talked about him like 2 weeks ago, so I didn't feel like doing it anymore. But Bam is something else, because the guy moves more like an athletic small forward than a guy who should be playing the center position. He is a little shorter than your average five. He's like 6'9", 6'10", but I picture him as just being a guy who just makes stuff happen. Block a shot, take the ball up court himself, switch onto a perimeter player, steal the ball, and then go in transition, catch an alley-oop, have some random game where he gets like 7 offensive rebounds. Bam is kind of a raw player, but he's smart, he plays his ass off, and he's athletic. So you put all those things together, you give him a good coach in Eric Spoelstra with some good veteran teammates around him. I expect some pretty exciting things out of Bam for this upcoming season. As for Thon Maker, my expectations are maybe a little lower because I think, well, I don't think this. I mean, I think everyone agrees he wasn't that good in his second season, although he was pretty decent in the playoffs against the Celtics, so I'll give him credit there. Sure, he's not the guy who has some and one mixtape thing on YouTube, but he is the template of a center of the future, I guess, because if his three-point shot is legit, if his switching ability on defense is there, then he's just the type of five that a lot of teams would dream of having, but they can't because there's just not many guys like this that exist, you know? The problem with Thon is he's just not totally there. You know, he's got to get smarter defensively. He has to become a better rebounder. He has to get stronger. He has to refine his shooting form. He's got to be able to hit jump shots when he's tired. He has to be able to finish through contact. Like, there's no one thing that he is particularly above average at right now. It's just going to be a matter of everything coming along slowly, and you hope that if he can be what the Bucks hope he can be and why they drafted him so high, then he could be a cheat code playing center, given that he's already got Giannis and Chris Middleton there. So then that team could just be a team of monstars that can switch everything and everybody can make a shot, but we're going to have to see if that's actually going to happen. Montes Sabonis was pretty written off after his first season with the Thunder, and while a lot of us believed that that was because he just wasn't that good, the reality is the Thunder asked him to be something that he is not. They wanted him to shoot threes and spot up, but in reality, Sabonis should be around the basket, rolling to the rim, protecting the basket, going for offensive rebounds, and if the jump shot can be a thing at times, then that's awesome. But when he played the center position for Indiana, he went from being a bench warmer to a legit rotation piece who seems like he's got some room to grow. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being one of the best rebounders in the league for an extended period of time. Similar to Bam, he plays really hard, and that is the reason for a lot of the things he does. I mean, he's not the futuristic five like some of these other dudes are. I mean, for the most part, he's just prototypical center stuff. But hey, if you can do all those things at a decent level, then that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And if they can make it work, I would be very interested to see lineups with him and Miles Turner playing for Indiana. Given that I am basically a Brooklyn Nets fan, and I can't go longer than a week without praising them, we're going to talk about Jarrett Allen. Seems like a Tyson Chandler, Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Jordan, that type of a center. A decent athlete, has some defensive chops, defend the pick and roll. I don't know if he can switch like Bam or Thon, may be able to one day, but he's a physical dude. He's already an alley-oop target. You can find some decent highlights of him on YouTube doing that in only his rookie season. And if I'm ranking all of the Nets young dudes, I think I like Jarrett Allen the most. Above D'Lo and Karis LeVert and Jean-On Musa and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Something about Jarrett Allen just intrigues me the most. And Kenny Atkinson is a damn good coach, and he's got some good ball handlers who know how to make a pass with Dinwiddie and D'Angelo Russell as well, so Allen's got all the tools and everything around him. It's just a matter of how good is he, and I think he's pretty damn good.